sitting, and we just pulled up after 2 sea days. We just pulled up in Juneau, Alaska. This is our first Alaska cruise, and it is the first Alaska cruise of the season for Carnival.
Yeah, so pretty special.
Pretty special. Pretty cool to be the first. Although what we're learning is that the first is also on the colder side. we've got some colder prospects for our weather. It's a 10-day cruise, and how many ports? Four
Four
ports.
ports and then one cruising day in the Tracy Arm.
And the Tracy Arm Fjord, which everybody is talking about, the Tracy Arm Fjord cruise, where you cruise, like right next to the glaciers. And we're obviously really looking forward to that. Everybody says it's one of the most spectacularly beautiful things you'll ever see. So, yeah, we've got that going. We've got that coming up here in a couple of days. Is that tomorrow?
No, it's 2 days.
2 days from now. Is tomorrow Ketchikan?
Tomorrow is Skagway.
Skagway tomorrow. Just getting to know the names of all these beautiful Alaska towns. So, yeah, we just got done parking, if you will, on the cruise ship.
I believe they specifically call it docking.
We just got done docking on the cruise ship.
Parking our boat.
Yeah, nobody likes it when you call a cruise ship a boat. So anyway, yeah, that was the approach to Juneau is spectacular, is absolutely spectacular. We are lucky enough to have been to Switzerland before, and we both kind of were like, wow, this is a lot like Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
Like these huge waterfalls, and in this case, the water was just kind of trickling because it's like melting snow. In Switzerland, they were like literally waterfalls. It was unreal, but very similar kind of landscape. Juneau's at the base of this. I don't know if you guys haven't been here. Juneau's at the base of this really big. Is it a mountain or just a big hill? Do you think?
I think it qualifies as a mountain.
It sure looks like a mountain. It's a really, really tall mountain, and there's snow at the top of it, at least parts of it, and it's just stunningly beautiful. So yeah, so far so good. The docking was phenomenal. It kind of took me by surprise. We kind of came into the, what's it called when you in the
inlet.
Yeah. The part. You can kind of stay on the outside of Alaska or the inside passage.
Oh, the inside passage, yeah.
We approached the inside passage, and all of a sudden the scenery became really, really stunning outside. We're passing these islands full of beautiful trees. We're all throughout the binoculars looking for wildlife, and didn't really see any wildlife yet. We're gonna try though. Emily thought she saw some puffins.
Then we used the binoculars, and I think they were just ducks that were trying to look like puffins. They had orange bills, but they were like very pointed, not the parrot-shaped bill that I think puffins are supposed to have. So, yeah, might have to get out some ID books and see if I can make a positive ID on that.
We want to see the puffins. Do you guys know about puffins? Do you know where we can see puffins? We learned a little bit about puffins at a lecture on the ship here. They're like kind of smaller birds, but they have like a tropical beak. What colors are they?
They're orange. I think they're always orange. There's two different types of puffins that we might see.
Yeah.
But I think they both had orange beaks.
Yeah.
So, and then one of them had like these tufts that go off back behind their ears. So.
Oops. Bear with me, people. I am just.
All messages visible?
Where's that? Go ahead and push that. Remember to guard your privacy and abide. All right, yeah, sorry for the delay there. We're just getting used to using this phone for live transmissions here. All right, so anyway, yeah, so what else do we want to talk about here? We're about to enter Juneau. The ship just docked, as we just mentioned, and we wanted to know if you guys have any tips about Juneau. We have kind of a drizzly day, so obviously we're going to put on some rain gear and hope for the best as far as that goes. But what should we look for? What should we see? What kind of wonderful things are in Juneau that we need to know about? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, in the meantime, I think we should talk about our packing choices.
Yeah. Please do.
So when we were packing for this cruise, we were looking at the weather for Alaska, but we are in Minnesota, so we're thinking, okay, well, it's not going to be that much colder, or at least I personally was thinking that. And at the time, in fact, I think still now, Minnesota's in the middle of a pretty massive heat wave. It's gotten over 90 degrees already. And so I'm packing. I am a very cold person. I'm always bringing the warmest clothes. And I actually said to Joe, I don't think I'm going to bring my winter jacket because I don't think it's going to be that cold. And he was flabbergasted. I don't know why he didn't
I have no idea
secretly
why she
pack my
didn't
winter
bring
jacket.
her.
I'm still waiting for him to secretly pull
I
out
couldn't,
my jacket.
when she said that, it didn't really compute. I didn't really believe her, I don't think, because she's always cold. So, yeah.
But the cruise director just came on and said tomorrow it's going to be -2 degrees Celsius, fortunately, not Fahrenheit. But so it's going to be about 28, 30 degrees tomorrow is what he said. Although AccuWeather is not confirming that. So I guess we'll find out. But it might be a little bit frostbite tomorrow. So
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah. So what else about the ship do we want to talk about?
Well, we had been speculating whether or not there were heated pools. And
Yeah, so far, no luck on the
What?
heated pool. What?
the front pool was heated.
It wasn't. I mean, it might have been warmed.
The front pool has a heater in it. It is not turned up high enough.
Yeah, I mean, we got in it once, and it was cold, but it wasn't as cold as it was outside. So we speculate that there is a heater in the pool, and they're just not turning up the temperature as much as
So
we
if
would
John
like.
Hild is listening right now, we would just like you to send a message to the Carnival Legend staff.
Yes,
and
get
ask
that
them
heater
to
turned on
please
in the pool.
Turn the heater up a little bit.
We were lucky enough to be on the Carnival Pride, I don't know, a few months ago, and going on a Greenland cruise, so another cold weather cruise on the Pride. They took us by complete surprise, but their swimming pools, two of them, which in the ship is very similar to this one, the Carnival Legend, both had heated pools to the point where it almost, not quite, but it almost felt like you were in a giant hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
The swimming pools felt like hot tubs. So very unique experience getting into a hot tubish kind of pool and swimming in cold weather while sailing through, Canada, Greenland area. It was spectacular. It was a really good memory. I hope we can make some of those memories on the Carnival Legend. Yeah. Otherwise, we can talk about, we sailed out of San Francisco. And so that was a pretty cool experience. We went underneath the Golden Gate Bridge as the ship left port, which was pretty surreal, honestly. San Francisco has a lot of really famous landmarks. You've got the Bay Bridge right there, you've got Alcatraz Island right there, and you've got the Golden Gate Bridge. And when you're lucky enough to get on a cruise ship at, was it Pier 27?
I think so.
Pier 27 in San Francisco, you have all those awesome landmarks in sight. So there's just a lot of eye candy and a lot of just jaw-dropping things going on when you cruise out of there. And of course, the Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most. Happy to be on the live stream. Hey, Blaine. Of course, the Golden Gate Bridge is an extremely iconic landmark, and being on a cruise ship. How many other ways can you go underneath the Golden Gate Bridge than on a cruise ship? If you work in the water and you work on shipping containers and stuff like that, of course you're going to see things like that. But for the average person, it's like, how else are you going to go underneath the Golden Gate Bridge? And so you approach the Golden Gate Bridge on the cruise ship. It's just unreal. It's just and then all of a sudden you're seeing the bottom of the Golden Gate Bridge, a view that, not that many people get to see. And then all of a sudden you're through it, and it's behind you, you turn around and you just have that view, that amazing view of the Golden Gate Bridge as you go off in the distance. That's a really special thing. So, and not something that I thought about when I was thinking about this Alaska cruise. I was all thinking about Alaska and brown bears and black bears and salmon and all the Alaska kind of things, and then all of a sudden I find myself, just going underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. That was really cool. So yeah. Something we've been doing on this. Did you have something you wanted to add?
It was really windy as well, so I would say if you're doing this,
windy.
Just be prepared. It was very windy.
Yes.
But
and then another thing that I think we could talk about is the food on the Carnival Legend so far. So we've taken a lot of cruises and a lot of Carnival cruises in particular, and the food is a big part of cruising. And so some cruises we go to main dining a lot. Some cruises we go to the buffet a lot. Some cruises we have a little extra cash and we go to specialty dining. On this cruise, we've really been going to main dining a lot, and it's I guess only like the fourth day.
Today is the fourth day.
Fourth day of the cruise.
But we've gone every night, right?
But we've gone every night to main dining, and we are kind of filming the experience, and we're reviewing the food, and so we've been paying a lot of attention to the main dining experience, and I'm pretty impressed with it. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I guess I would give it maybe like a C plus B minus. I mean, that doesn't sound that good. I mean, maybe a solid B. I don't know. Because for the most part, the meals are good. The service has been spectacular, which is, for me, like what makes or breaks the main dining experience is if you're crowded or you have a table that you're really kind of claustrophobic and you're right next to other people and it just doesn't feel that comfortable, that's when I'll go to the buffet more often. Yeah. But on this ship, we went down for the tell how we went down for the first night. Yeah, we actually
normally we choose the anytime dining, and that way you can just go on the app and choose whatever time you want. You just log in and then they'll tell you your table's ready in 20 minutes or whatever, and then you go down. So that's what we've done every other time, and on this time, I don't know, for some reason it just told us we were going to go to late dining, which is not what we really wanted. But so the first night we realized that we went down. And we were going to eat around that time anyways, which is 7:30 on the Carnival Legend. And we're like, well, hey, we got assigned to late dining. We really had wanted any time. And what is she called? The maitre d', I guess?
Yeah.
She was kind of like, oh, well, I can seat you now, no problem. And but she's like, you really don't want anytime dining because you're going to have to wait like 60 minutes to get a table. And I honestly don't know if it's that bad. I think she was probably exaggerating.
She really wanted us to stick with the
late dining. She was really pushing it. And Joe actually was in the main dining room for the early dining, and he was just taking a little panorama for our ship tours that we do. And he said it was really crowded. And I try to stay out of the way for that because I know there's so many people going every direction, so I just let him go in by himself. But he said it was really crowded for the early dining. The late dining, I mean, there's many tables that are empty, and so we were like, okay, well, we'll get a shot, but do we have a private table? And she's like, oh no, you're seated with some other people. And well, we're a little bit of introverts, so we were like, can we get a private table? And she actually gave us a booth. It's in a really nice location. It's a little bit off to the side, and we really liked that. And it's great because, like Joe said, we're doing these food reviews, and that just gives us a little bit of space to be able to do it without, honestly disturbing other people's meals.
Yeah, have you ever been sat next to the people that are holding up the camera and talking to the camera while?
I have to imagine nobody wants to deal with that for every meal. Maybe like once or twice it's okay.
I have to say, we were on an MSC cruise once. We were seated at a group table, and there were a couple that were seated across from us who were nice people. But we told them when we first got on the ship, this was an MSC cruise, and we first got on the ship, we told them, hey, we do YouTube videos. We're going to be, doing food reviews. I hope you guys don't mind. And they didn't mind. But the guy, the gentleman, I think his name was John, actually.
I think so.
But he really, really wanted to be a food reviewer. And so he would give me, he started giving me a lot of advice about how to review the food, and I kind of wanted to give him just put him on camera and have him do it, but he did. He went on for like 5 minutes about the key lime pie, and I actually agreed with what he had to say, so I used pretty much his whole review for the key lime pie. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it just brought back memories of some people see us reviewing food like John, and they're like, man, that'd be fun to review food. And it is kind of fun to review food and different things about cruising. So anyway, back to it.
Well, yeah, but other people I'm sure
don't want to have the camera out.
Exactly.
Always, yeah. And we try to respect people, we really do. Yeah.
But so anyways, it was a really nice table, and so we said we'd keep it. And so we've been going to late dining for for all 3 nights so far. And other people will say, hey, if you get the same table and the same waiters, they start to know your drink order, and they'll start to get to know you. And that's absolutely true, because now Joe's gotten cranberry juice the first 2 nights, and the third night our waiter wasn't like right near us, and he kind of yelled from a few feet away, and he was
Cranberry?
like, "Joe, do you want cranberry?" And
Yeah.
Joe was like, "Yeah." And then he passed us in the hallway. That
Yeah,
was
we
him,
just
right?
we
Yeah.
just saw him.
And he was like, "Hey, Joe, hey, Emily." So yeah, it's true. They really do make an effort to get to know you, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is
So.
kind of cool. So yeah, the food experience has been pretty good. The food itself is a little bit hit or miss. It's mostly hit though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. I haven't had any meals that are like disgusting, but
Yeah.
some of the meals are just kind of okay and average, but pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess the one that's coming to mind right now is I had what they call a fish cake on formal night. The first formal night of the cruise, we had a fish cake. And also, it came with some large jumbo shrimp, which were actually really good. But the fish cake wasn't great. It really was. I wish it was a crab cake. That would have been a lot better.
I've actually had that on the other formal nights, and
crab cake.
no, the fish cake.
The fish cake.
Yeah, and I have the same. I don't think it was this necessarily this cruise. I think it's just the nature of that dish. It's and they serve crab cake on. Maybe it's the next formal night they serve crab cake, because I know that they do also have a crab cake, and the crab cake is pretty good. The fish cake,
I like a good
not.
crab cake, yeah.
So,
but just subbing in fish for the crab.
Yeah, it was kind of, in my memory, it was like a little bit too mushy.
It was very mushy.
Yeah.
And it was really fishy. The fish that they chose
It was very fishy.
was strong. It was
no mistaking that it's a fish cake and not a crab cake.
Very much a fish cake, yeah. So anyway. Well, we're going to be heading. We're just kind of killing a little bit of time here before we head down to the gangway and get off the ship. I know that there was a big crowd down there, but this is an interesting. Blaine, if you have time for a cruise insurance question, I've missed the pre-existing condition window. My final.
Oh.
It just disappeared. There it is.
I don't see why I don't see why I'd buy before that. I think. I don't know, it's cutting off the full comment for some reason. But I think the answer is probably the reason why you would buy before that is your pre-existing conditions wouldn't be covered. But if something happens between when you buy it, like now, and your cruise, that wouldn't be covered. So, if you broke your leg tomorrow, for instance, well, let's say you break your leg next week. If you bought the insurance today, then you would be covered, and you could have that cruise reimbursed or whatever expenses covered by the insurance. But if you didn't get it, then you would just be out of luck. Although you would be able to still ask for, but I can get the 100%. Yeah, okay. So if you can get the refund through the cruise company, then that is a good point. If you could get it through the cruise company, if you've done your research on when the 100% refund window disappears from the cruise company, then yeah, you've got good logic there. The other thing to think about would be maybe your other expenses like airplane tickets or hotels, but if you're not going to be booking until December anyways, then yeah. And if you're getting the airplane tickets that you could have refunded or get credit for the airplane tickets, then maybe that's not as big of a concern. So yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, travel insurance is a good thing.
Yeah.
Travel insurance is a good thing.
Yeah. It is a good thing, and it can be super confusing. So, and I'm obviously not the spokesperson for any travel insurance agent, so or for any travel insurance company. So, if you want to verify that for sure, if you already have your insurance picked out, you could call them and just ask if there's anything that you're missing by not booking earlier. And if it's a good insurance company, they will give you an honest answer. I've had to do that before when we were traveling to Southeast Asia. I called and asked a bunch of questions before I made any decisions, and the insurance company I chose was the one that was willing to answer my questions. So
yeah, some are better than others.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
absolutely.
But and don't break your leg. I hope you don't break your leg. Have an awesome
hope you
trip.
don't need to use it at all. Exactly. All right, cool. Well, we are. So I was about to say the port times today is we docked at about 2:30, and we have until 10:30 at night. Usually it's kind of that early morning until like 3:30 or 5:30, but we've got until 10:30 at night to explore Juneau, and I think there's probably space to get off the ship now. So we're gonna end this live we're going to go down to Juneau, and hopefully we'll see you guys all again soon.
Yep. Bye.